We've just finished building up what we reckon is the ultimate modern dual cab for Cape York. You might know Dave for getting vehicles through insane situations and for building the toughest, meanest bar work you can get on a four-wheel drive. But the real Dave is a mad engineer. When Dave rang me and told me he was building one of these new Luxies, I was frothing to get into it. And what we wanted to prove once and for all is that you can take a brand new modern dual cab, build it up right, and then take on some of Australia's most iconic touring hotspots. Let's show you how we built this thing up. So you've decided you want to take your vehicle on your dream trip to Cape York. Despite what you see online, you don't need everything that opens and shuts on your vehicle to get up there and have a good time. Just a few key modifications that will make your trip safe, reliable, and fun. Cape York's tight tracks, steep creek exits, and constant recoveries can really take its toll on your rig. Proper bar work protects your bodywork, whilst rated recovery points are essential to make sure you can get unstuck without destroying your pride and joy.
Now, if you're looking to get a bull bar for a modern vehicle, you need to make sure you get one that is compliant with your airbags. Now, ADR compliance basically means your car needs to work with the factory airbags in an accident. So, proper engineered bull bars will have mounts that have energy absorption into them. That way, if you're hitting a car or an accident, your airbags are still going to work, but it'll still work with a winch, with your lights, and if you're hitting an animal, you really don't want it to actually trigger your airbags. So off for an animal, we do computer testing as well as physical testing to make sure that our bars work as it's supposed to.
Righto, Dave, moment of truth, mate. I'm keen to see how this thing looks with this on. The internet kind of blew up when it was announced, didn't they? Better already. Better already. Your turn.
Yeehaw. Next up, winch.
So could I go in backwards? Oh, you don't even need me.
Now, Jock, head into the Cape. You definitely have to have a winch.
Probably one of the most important mods, and I'm glad you have one.
Yeah, I mean, especially going on trips with you and Jesse,
yeah,
winches do get a workout.
I suppose it is handy too. You probably found this after the Simpson Desert. I imagine when you pulled the winch apart in the Prado, the fact you don't need to take the bar off to put it in too just makes it a bit easier.
Yeah. So this bar's perfect. You can just chuck the winch right in through the front. You reckon we're going to use it a lot?
Yep.
Pulling me out or pulling you out?
Both.
Yes.
That's actually so much easier. Like, lined up. That's mint. I think that is probably the easiest winch install I've ever done.
Yeah, and just got to run the wires now.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, if you got a modern vehicle, you got a lot of safety tech that comes in the factory grille and bumper. You want to make sure that stuff works when you get a bull bar. So this one here, we've got the 360 camera and the radar and the parking sensors all relocated into the bull bar, so they'll all work as they normally should. There's even adjustment in here if you have any problems that you can adjust it to make sure it all works mint. So what we're going to do is get our winch cable, run it through the fair lead because we want that to work nice, and plug all our tech in. Cool. Also, number plate flip, great because you want to stay legal there. Lift it up if you need a winch. That way, Mr. Fuzz won't get upset with you, and you can have fun with your mates out bush. Now, when you head off-road, one of the first things anybody destroys is the factory side steps. Great for stepping into the car, but not the best when you're going off-road. So we're gonna put on some heavy-duty steel rock sliders, and we're even gonna add some steel brush rails to protect the nice new HiLux. So I got two of my engineers, Chris and Leon, who are gonna whip off this factory step and put on the Off-Road Animal heavy-duty rock slider.
The interesting thing about these scrub rails is you notice how they're sitting quite wide. Obviously protects your guard as you want it to, but these are actually designed so that if you fit, say, a bigger version of one of these Snorkels, or you have wider wheel arch flares, you're still going to be able to fit your scrub bars no problems. They tie down into these rock sliders. Now, to be honest, again, rock sliders probably aren't essential for Cape York. However, in terms of doing modifications to your vehicle, in my opinion, a decent set of rock sliders is probably one of the very first things I would do to my four-wheel drive if I was planning to take it off-road. It's really good to take your vehicle out into the bush when it's completely standard to see how it handles. You'll really quickly find its limits and you'll get some seat time, which is what it's all about. But If you damage your sills in that process, they can be really difficult and expensive to repair. Less like a guard or a door. If you dent one of them, yeah, it's gonna suck, but they're replaceable. Sills, much bigger deal to fix, which is why chucking a decent set of sliders on before you go wheeling will pay for themselves the first time you hit a big old rock. Now these are gonna be plenty strong enough for everything we're gonna be tackling in the Cape, and I reckon all this bar work on this vehicle makes it look so tough. But let me know in the comments below, do you reckon the off-road animal HiLux is looking the part? I reckon it is. Righto Dave, mate, so the Luxie's coming together pretty nice. I reckon it's looking tough as nails, almost Cape York ready. We've had a few trips together, we've had some interesting experiences, but for those at home, I thought it'd be a good time for you to tell us a little bit about who you are, how you got into this, and a bit of your background.
So I turned 18, bought myself a white GQ naturally aspirated diesel.
That's very Victorian of you.
Yes, like everyone else. Had a lot of fun in that car. Started building bar work in uni for it. I actually really liked going camping and four-wheel driving, and it's just, I wanted to make it look cooler. And, you know, you had your standard bull bars and stuff out there, and I thought they're all boring. So I started making my own. Then when I got a job in manufacturing, I really exploded and started making bull bars for other people. Had a lot of fun doing that. Even cut the roof off the car, put my own roll cage in there. Just sort of expanded from there and then started getting other vehicles. But yeah, four-wheel driving, camping, really just getting out and about. And I just wanted to make the cars look cool.
You've obviously got access to a few different vehicles. I mean, you get these vehicles in, develop your products, refine them, and then go out and test them. Why did you choose the new HiLux?
Look, I chose the new HiLux because it's a polarizing vehicle at the moment. There is a lot of talk online of people hating on it, a lot of hate on it. And I wanted to prove that not only is it a good vehicle, but I want to make this one look cool.
But I reckon you've done a pretty good job with the blacked out grille and these new infill panels you do. This bar has made it look tough as nails.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything you've learnt, say, from taking the Prado in the Simpson Desert, for example, that you want to apply to new vehicles moving forward that you're putting together, like the HiLux?
We want to test our products off-road in extreme conditions because our customers are going to be doing that as well. You know, we want to go in hot environments, cold environments, wet environments, that sort of stuff. So taking a new vehicle in these sort of situations is great testing for us. You know, we want to make sure the cars are going to handle, the products, are going to handle what the customer is going to do for them.
What about in-house testing? What sort of testing do you do here to make sure these bars not only look good, as you say, but also can handle everything?
I mean, it is one thing to take it off-road, but you can't actually get always extreme conditions when you're heading off-road. So what we do is physically test it on a machine we have here, and we do tests not only on our tow points, but we also do a winch capacity test. So we can be comfortable that when a customer puts a winch in their bar, that the bar can withstand the pull of that winch at its maximum capacity. That testing is super important at its extreme capacity, as well as taking it off-road.
One of the most important sets of mods to do to your vehicle, whether it's a nice modern dual cab like this or you're driving a budget rig, are a snorkel for your engine and breathers for your front diff, rear diff, gearbox and transfer case. Now Dave's fitted a set of all those up here on the side of the inner guard, and they are absolutely essential. I would not do Cape York without those mods. Snorkels are pretty cheap, and breathers, you can either do a kit like Dave's got, or you can go to your local hardware store, get some hose and a couple of filters, and you're away. What you can do with your breather line is actually put in a little U-bend. Think of it like the U-bend on the plumbing on your toilet. Pretty much works the exact same way. It essentially creates a little bit of an airlock so that if water does get over your breathers, it's not going to work its way down the piping and into your diffs, or worst case, your gearbox. Another mod that Dave has chucked into the Luxie is a front air locker. Now, to be honest, you can easily do Cape York completely unlocked if you want to, but if you want to fit a locker, a front locker like Dave's put in the Luxie is real good peace of mind, particularly with how hard these vehicles get pushed on 4Drive 24/7 trips in particular, and Dave is no stranger to that. Righto Dave, mate, so the Luxie's coming together pretty nice. I reckon it's looking tough as nails, almost Cape York ready. And I'm sure there are a lot of people watching at home who've just got themselves a brand new HiLux or a D-Max or a BT50 or whatever, and they want to take it on a remote trip. Is there anything that you're concerned about taking a brand new vehicle on a trip that other people at home may not need to worry about, or something they need to keep in mind?
First of all, by all means, take a new vehicle on a trip like this. They're perfectly set up for it once you do a few modifications to make it safe and happy and comfortable. Just be mindful of spare parts, because it is difficult to get certain spares for these cars. And even people knowing how to work on certain components. I mean, you might have an electric vehicle or electric hybrid vehicle that no one knows how to work on it yet. So just be mindful. You take new cars, carry the spares you need, belts, hoses, that sort of stuff, because you never know what can happen. But yeah, by all means, take a new car off-road. They're the best setup for it.
With the barwork and mechanical upgrades sorted, it's time to set the HiLux up for touring. Dave's fitting a modular rack over the tub, but that'll limit access from the sides. So he's adding a pull-out slide in the tub to keep the entire space organised and easily accessible.
So this is a brand new tub rack that we've not released yet. So its first maiden voyage is this Cape trip here. This is a cool one, and we're gonna call it the Nice Rack. Well, I think we're gonna call it the Nice Rack. If you have a better name, put it in the comments below, or even an acronym for what nice can mean. But hey, if you got something better, I will change it if it's better. Now, the cool thing about this one is it's completely adjustable. So it's adjustable in and out, so the width can suit all different types of tubs you have, so it doesn't really matter, but it's also super adjustable up and down. So we have it on not the lowest setting, but a lower setting here. You can get it a little bit lower if you want, or all the way up if you have a rooftop tent against to go over the cab. You can run 2 toolboxes, 4 toolboxes, or even a bigger toolbox. So we got these ones here. Cool, because they're lockable on gas struts. Great for putting stuff in there. Over here, I've got a molly panel, which I've got a little jerry can on. Now, if you wanted not running toolboxes, you can run 4 of those with a little compartment behind it as well. So we are gonna be putting a rooftop tent on this one, so I'm gonna be comfortable in the Cape. I'm really happy about this one. See how it handles the tough corrugations of the Cape. Should be a good thing for keeping all my gear easy accessible, nice and stored, making my camping trip a lot more fun than Jock's.
Dave, it's so nice of you to put a tent on for me.
As much as I love swags, I think I'm gonna have a lot better time with this than you are.
With the rooftop tent getting fitted on, Dave's HiLux is ready to get well and truly tested.
Nice.
And we've made it, Cape York. Up that way is the Telly track. We've just completed an epic mission across the Frenchmans, and man, the new off-road Animal HiLux absolutely smash it. So for now, let's take a look at what we've done to the build, red dust and all. Now up the front, we've got the off-road Animal Toro bar. Not only does this thing look tough as nails, it's also for a reason, because it's not just about looks up here. We've got a spot for a winch, spotlights, UHF, all the essentials, but as well, you need to be careful and protect your pride and joy. Moving down the side, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Snorkel, diff breathers, transmission breather, and transfer case. These are a non-negotiable if you're coming up here. Trust me, if you don't fit them and you do your box, you'll wish you had them, and they're a real easy, cheap mod to do. Get them done. Down here, we got some 33-inch tires. Now, this has given the Luxy a bit more clearance, and Dave has absolutely been loving it so far. A bit smaller tires than, say, what he's got on the Prado, but it's been working really well as the twin lockers he's put in. Now, of course, sliders and scrub bars protect your sills. You only want to dent them once, and you'll wish you put a quality set of sliders on. But these ones double as a step, which is also handy. You see, we've got a little grab handle axe here for getting up to the roof rack. Now, this one's got the wind deflector on the front, help keep the fuel economy down with the price of fuel at the moment. But up here, Dave's got his table, and he's kept this open. It's mainly as a spot for mounting accessories, but if he does need to carry extra gear, he's got an awning on that side, he's got an axe on this side, and an easy place to store his table. So stuff that you're only really going to be grabbing occasionally, like when you're at camp, that's real handy for that. Moving up the back, we've got the prototype tub rack. So on this side, he's got one of these off-road Animal boxes. Now in here, he keeps all the quick grab, easy stuff, and you'll notice it's on the driver's side. So if he has to go for something quickly, like his air compressor line, even some soap to wash his hands, other bits and pieces, it's on the side of the driver. You can get out and get to it nice and quick and easy. Up here, you've got a smaller jerry can. Now he uses this for washing hands, other bits and pieces. Dave's got a little storage box in here for other bits and pieces. Fire extinguisher, nice and easy to grab. And he's got camp lights scattered all the way around it. Dave's opted to add some more accessory panels on this side for storage of more tools and equipment like his shovel and high lift jack. Now his rooftop tent, he's managed to set the height of the tub rack so it just protrudes over the top, but because of the roof rack, I reckon having one of these and still not affecting things like your fuel economy too much is real handy. The rooftop tent opens out this way, nice and easy to get into, and then of course, he's got an awning bolted on the side of the rack. Now, when you're setting up a tub, it's important that you think about how you're going to get to your gear. On this side, you've got a bigger water tank, and now that's a 40-litre one for a bit of extra water when he needs it, and his actual dual battery system is on the back of the slide there. And then apart from that, he's kept everything else in some storage tubs. Super quick and easy, and the best thing about this whole setup is when Dave gets back and he's using the HiLux for the Monday to Friday, he can pull the tubs out, pull the fridge out, the tub rack can come off if he doesn't need it, and then he's got a usable ute again, real handy. Now this is one of Off-Road Animal's latest prototype rear protection bars for the new HiLux. Dave actually fitted this in between when I shot down to Melbourne
to help him put some bits on the vehicle. And now, my first time seeing it was in Cairns, and I reckon he's absolutely nailed it. First up, you got steps on the side here, real handy to get into the tub or into your tub rack if you need it. A lot of steps when you upgrade them, you lose that if your factory one's got it, but Dave's managed to keep it in there. You still keep your blind spot monitoring and your parking sensors in the bar as well. And you can see how it's tapered here. That means it's nice and protected. If you hit this side against a tree, you're less likely to rip that off. You can tell Dave's really thought about the design here. Of course, you got recovery points. It's not going to be something that Dave's put together without recovery points front and rear. And you've also got another step option here to get into your tub or into your tub rack if you're short like Dave. You've got lights in the back and an integrated tow point. And I reckon the whole setup just looks absolutely mint. It's really hard to do that on dual cab utes, but Off-Road Animal have nailed it. Everything on the Off-Road Animal HiLux has been engineered and put there for a reason. Remember I said just as important as what you put on the vehicle is what you don't, and Dave has absolutely nailed it with this vehicle. Next up though is the real test, the mighty Teletrack. In my opinion, if your vehicle can get to Cape York, do the Tele and get home again, then you've built it right. We're about to find out if the new Off-Road Animal HiLux can do just that. You're going to have to wait for a couple of weeks to see that one though, but for us, let's get into it.